China has launched military drills around Taiwan. Beijing is describing the drills as a serious warning to the separatist forces in an angry but a widely expected response to Vice President William Lai's visit to the United States, drawing immediate condemnation from Taipei. Our next report gets you more details.
Beijing's ships and jets were deployed around Taiwan on Saturday in drills seen as a response to Taiwan Vice President William Lai's visit to the United States. The People's Liberation Army said, in text accompanying clips it shared, the drills were to test combat capabilities of joint operations forces. Taiwan's defense ministry said on Saturday it detected 42 Chinese aircraft and 8 ships involved in drills around the island, while 26 Chinese jets crossed the median line of the Taiwan Strait, or just about 25 miles from Taiwan's waters. Taiwan's military on Saturday released a video of undated clips showing its troops maneuvering at sea on city streets, saying China's drills were a threat to regional peace and liberal democratic values. China's exercises are seen as a response to Taiwan Vice President William Lai transiting in the US while visiting Paraguay the past week. Lai has since returned to Taiwan. China, which claimed the self-ruled island as its territory, views Lai as a separatist and a troublemaker. Lai became vice president in 2020, standing as Tsai Ing-wen's running mate. He's the leading candidate in Taiwan's presidential elections next year. Beijing has repeatedly called on Washington not to engage with Taiwanese leaders, as they view it as support for Taiwan's desire to be viewed as separate from China.
In Taiwan's so-called general election, almost every candidate will go to the United States to get interviews of the U.S. government officials, and they always guarantee to the U.S. officials that they can maintain the so-called peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait, and they can do everything to favor the United States' national interest.
But most Taiwanese appeared unbothered by Saturday's drills.
I think it is fine because many drills had happened in the past. The news also kept reporting about Chinese drills near the Taiwan Sea. But I think the drill is more like a show. It would be quite impossible for China to launch a real attack.
I don't think a war will happen, and I'm unafraid because China has been saying it for a really long time. My feeling is that if a real war breaks out, there will be a lot of problems. Besides, there is the United States.
All right, so that is what the Chinese are doing at this moment. They are holding military drills. And to give us more perspective on this, we're being joined by Mr. Ross Darrell Feingold. He's a political risk analyst who's joining us live from Taiwan at this moment. Now, Mr. Feingold, the fact that the Chinese are conducting these military drills, right after this visit by the Taiwanese official to the United States, is this just posturing on the part of China, or does it intend to do anything more serious than this?
Well, China might not intend to do anything more serious in the coming days or weeks. That remains to be seen. But the key point here is that, once again, China is demonstrating its displeasure with actions by Taiwan government officials, and it's demonstrating its military capability, and frankly, it's demonstrating that it is very serious about the possibility of using force to take over Taiwan. And that's why what some of the Taiwanese people said in the report is so concerning for me as an analyst, that they don't seem to think that China is serious, when I think people here in Taiwan need to take those threats very, very seriously.
Absolutely, indeed. And what is the mood like within Taiwan, considering that the Chinese have in fact started these military drills early this morning?
Well, just as the report indicated, most people don't feel that it's something worth stopping their day for. Today's Saturday, people are out and about shopping and enjoying the weekends. Certainly, several dozen Chinese aircraft or 8 Chinese ships coming near Taiwan to engage in exercise, that's really not going to cause people here to worry. And again, I'm very concerned about that because I think Taiwanese people should be more concerned about these kinds of exercises.
That's fine, Gold. You know, the fact that the Chinese have been expanding their military presence, they're trying to grow stronger, and all of this is being said to be with an expectation that they would stage an invasion of Taiwan at a moment that they see as opportune. Do you think, realistically speaking, is this something that China is in fact building up to, or does China want to reunify with Taiwan through political means?
Well, China basically says both. They say they prefer political means, a peaceful unification, but they don't renounce the use of force. And you're absolutely correct that their investments in the military, in various capabilities, whether that's land, whether that's sea, air, their rocket force, cyber, what they're doing is investing a lot of money in their technical skills and in their equipment and training to be able to use force to take over Taiwan if they decide to do so sometime in the future. And anyone who downplays that, or whether here in Taiwan or outside of Taiwan, they're engaging in something that I think is very, very dangerous, because Taiwan absolutely needs to take that threat seriously and to prepare accordingly.
Right. And also my last question to you, Mr. Feingold, is this. Every time that China imposes this kind of a military drill on the territories surrounding Taiwan, how do the Taiwanese people in fact react to this? How does the Taiwanese government react to this? Does it prep up its own military preparedness, or does it just, wait for China to do what it's doing and look for the intentions, whether it's just a military drill which would stop in a few days, or whether it is much more serious? How does Taiwan respond to this?
Generally, the population at large goes about their life. It's business as usual when China engages in large-scale military exercises. For the military and the people who are in the military, obviously this puts tremendous pressure on them, because Taiwan does have to send its ships out to sea and put its aircraft in the air to respond. So for the people in the military, it does put a tremendous strain on its resources, on its personnel. It's very exhausting. It costs a lot of money to respond to China. And frankly, China has a lot more resources to do this than Taiwan. But again, the very dangerous thing here is that the population at large here in Taiwan does not seem to be as concerned.
All right, we'll have to leave that. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Feingold, for joining us and getting us all those details then.
Thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.